Board games, board games. I will be talking about Bubbly Pop and Hive. That's I'm not gonna shout. Bubbly Pop and Hive. These are two games that I played last night. Those are their names. And I guess I'll talk about how I'm generally doing, because that's something that I'm happy to be saying. And I'll talk about Bubbly Pop made me think about this and that about games, and I'm not gonna shout. Board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, I'm not going to shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. Hope you're generally well. I am Bez. This is episode 494 of Bezzy Beats and Briefer Bladder. So, let's... Honestly, today is not going to be the most exciting topic. It's just, I played Bubbly Pop. I played Hive. Yeah, Bubbly Pop's pretty good. Also, Board Game Arena. It had a DDOS attack last night. And I guess it makes sense that they want to not talk about it a lot. So, at the time I had these messages saying, hey, we have experienced a DDoS attack. We're going to try and make ourselves more resilient to it in future. And that's an interesting thing. What does that mean? Why would people not talk about it? I guess, yeah, sometimes communication is hard. I guess communication takes time, and so that's probably why they didn't talk about it. But let's move on to the recent highlights. Recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. So yes, yesterday was the big thing for me was getting things out of my room. Out of my old room, I should say, because now there's someone else living there with their own stuff. I took out all my stuff. Some of it was after they had arrived, admittedly, and I did a bit of sweeping and hoovering, and yeah, that was both an achievement and also a highlight in that I felt such a big sense of achievement that this has at least been done. It's the next step. There are a lot of boxes around the living room that I need to sort and assemble, but yeah, for the most part, that's still pretty gosh darn good. I had a brief meeting with Jason and talking about my poor communication as a manager, talking about, so Jason's autism means that they want to have communication in a very specific way, and maybe wasn't sensitive enough to that. I maybe didn't explain things clearly enough, and so going forwards, I think the lesson for me is to have more clarity for people that are working for me, I guess, and try and focus on that, because yeah, it is a lot. My ideal is that, okay, someone's taking charge of talking to manufacturer and whatnot, but I need to remember that it's going to take people time to learn, and there's going to be a lot of hand-holding along the way, no matter who it is. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Hello, Jess. I hope you're generally well. That is totally fine, but yes, have a good parents' evening. Talking more about recent highlights. I want to... Sorry. So yes, sleeping, that was a highlight. The joy of getting stuff done. And yeah, cycling to my new place, that was definitely a nice thing. But I also want to talk about Bubblee Pop. Bubblee Pop was a fantastic, lovely game that I played yesterday. And Bubblee Pop is all about letting things drop down from the sky for free. It's a simple match-free game inspired by so many little web games and apps. But this is a board game. Now, I played it on Board Game Arena, which is like a digital version of playing a board. And so this was before the DDoS attack. And yeah, I just want to say that it's a very pleasant thing. There's you can match balls on your side, or you can try to attack your opponents. Layla and I were chatting about, we tried the most aggressive style, and I tried to really mess up Layla, and there was even a bit of, oh, I'm going to try and send all these balls over, and so I was really working hard. But yeah, this was the second game, or maybe the third game we played just before the server crashed. And my conclusion was that death in this game is not a realistic possibility. At which point, why even have those abilities to mess with your opponent? I mean, I guess I understand that you want to have, the ability to mess yourself up. That makes sense. And hello to me, I'm just talking about Bubblee Pop, like a little game that I played on Board Game Arena yesterday. And if you fill in all your things, then you lose. But it does feel like it comes down to the points. And so I guess it feels like maybe the death is something, oh, I'm way behind on points, now I can go all out and just hurting my opponent. But it doesn't really happen like that. It just feels like it's part of the game that, in my mind, it was, should it even be there? But this is my first impressions. We also played a quick game of Hive, a lovely game. Chess-like, things move in different ways, capture the queen. As you've seen from that banner, it is now time for the questionably quick questions. Is this next section? It's not an interrogation, it's just a questionably quick question section. So if you've got any questions, then please do chime them in. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about brilliant thing, what's a little thing which is brilliant. Now, having just kind of talked down a little bit about Bubblee Pop, talking about how I felt like, yeah, the death didn't quite work because it's unlikely to actually happen. And so if it's so unlikely, why even have that as a threat? Why have this annoyance of, oh, you're messing me up? I don't know. But I think that one brilliant thing is just, I want to say, the satisfaction of a big combo in that game. I think that's a brilliant thing about it, is that when you've got little colours and then they're all aligned and you're like, oh, I could do this, and then I get rid of those and I get rid of those because then these other bubbles collapse. Or when it's right at the top and you're playing on the edge, that can be a really exciting thing because, oh, if it goes above this level, then I will die. But, oh, before I die, all the things get eliminated. So I can still drop my things down. And so I think that that is brilliant. I think that having the satisfaction of a combo, to me, in a game, when it's like you've built up something, you've planned something, or you suddenly realize, oh, I can twist things around in this way, having that big payoff, having that big moment, that splashy, exciting moment, that is a brilliant thing. And hello, Alex. It is lovely to see you this morning. Yeah, there's no topic today, so if you want to ask me less silly questions and generate a topic, that is totally fine. Yeah, comments, ask questions from like follow, you know, the stuff. Otherwise, yeah. I thought I would talk about comfort and familiarity a wee bit. I thought I'd talk about how Bubblee Pop, it's bits of a long game, I felt. Like, one of the games, one of us was ahead by like 3 points, and it didn't, just felt, oh, we're just going through the motions. Okay, by the end of this, I'm going to be pretty much done. But going through those motions, there is something nice about it. There is something, when you have a certain play style that's kind of therapeutic, meditative, this can definitely be a lovely thing. And I think that we don't always need excitement and astonishment. What I will say is that for sure, the time that you're playing it feels like it has to be meaningful. If my opponent, if there's like a 9-point separation between us, then, and there's no hope of catching up, then it does kind of feel a bit sad playing out the rest of the game, even bothering with it. But, you know, for the most part, when you're just kind of going through, that feels like a lovely thing. And, oh my gosh, hello, Claire Llewellyn. It's lovely to see you. And today you are catching me at a weird time because I am meant to have, I'm in my new place, I'm meant to have someone coming in around 8 a.m. today, which was 2 hours ago, to fix the internet. So I don't know whether it will happen or not, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it will happen. And so, yes, I hope that you are generally very well. Alex, always pushing the silly questions. If you could spontaneously generate bubbles for up to 10 minutes at any moment, but you immediately had to have a 10-minute nap afterwards, how often would you generate bubbles? Okay, so I'm thinking that I want to nap in a safe place. This feels like a pretty good gosh darn party trick. Like, I think that I would do it. I almost want to say like maybe once a week. I feel like that would be an amount of time where it would still be special. And bye, Claire. Bye, Claire Llewellyn. Lovely to see you. Lots of love. But back to the question, the ridiculous question. Yes, assuming I'm at a party and like, hey, I want to show you something. I think that, yeah, although now I'm kind of starting to wonder, do I need to fear, you know, being studied and being dissected and all that stuff? Like, should I worry about that? Should I worry about maybe not doing it for risk of being found out? Or would people just all assume that it was a magic trick? Because, yeah, they don't go dissecting David Blaine, do they? I'm going to stick with my possibly once a week, unless I was scared of the government, in which case I would stop doing it. Now, yeah, honestly, today my mind is in all sorts of places, so I do apologize. It's not as good a stream as yesterday. Yesterday, I feel like I was just more on point. Today, yeah, let's a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after someone makes noises. I'm happy with how it's going. People seem to be enjoying it. It is finally ranked, and according to Board Game Geek, it's already my third highest ranked game, underneath Yogi and in a bind which have more ratings. And so even though they're lower rated, but that's quite exciting. Yeah, this game, a game about drawing creatures, complementing the drawings and complementing the complements, that's something that I have to write up the rules and do the work for this year at some point. I want to do it this year. A game about quickly grabbing creatures that are totally different and watching out for turnips. That one, I hope it will be coming to me very soon. I'm hoping it will come to me this week and I will be able to sell it at Dragon Meat. The L-Deck contest, that's something that I need to do a bit more work and catch up on. Yeah, I think I didn't realize how much stress moving was going to be. It is, yeah, getting the internet fixed, going through things, and yeah, there's just a lot to ponder. So at this point, honestly, I don't have much more to say. And so I do apologize for this. You come expecting wisdom, and all I give you is, I mean, Board Game Arena had a DDoS attack. That is something like I was there, and some people are complaining about ELO rankings being slightly wrong now because they lost a few points after losing one game. Yeah, it makes sense that they can't change that. It makes sense that Board Game Arena won't like publicize it. I was going onto their Twitter and expecting them to say, "Oh, sorry about this. We've had a DDoS attack," just in case people couldn't access their website. But it made sense. Like that's not going to be priority number one, and I'm imagining that there might be legal issues and protection issues with even acknowledging this too widely. But yeah, they certainly don't want to make those people feel, oh, and why would people do this? I mean, what's that all about? I've no idea into the motivations of these people. But yeah, why would people do such a thing? I don't know. ELO, you know exactly what I mean. The rankings, the what does ELO stand for? You know what I mean, right? And Alex says, I'll hopefully be seeing you on Saturday. Will you have a stand? Yes. On Saturday, I am at Dragon Meat, and as an explanation for why someone would do a DDoS attack, Alex says maybe someone wasn't invited to play games. But yes, at Dragon Meat, I will have a stand. And I've got to think about what I'm focusing on. If I will be doing a quick talk about board game design is for everyone, and yeah, talking about why board game design is really nice and worthwhile for everyone to do, because I think it forces you to listen to people, it forces you to separate your ego from your creations, it forces you have to give better feedback, you have to learn to imagine how other people operate, and also you have to learn the value of iteration. Of it's the same whether you're editing a book or redoing a drawing that you've already kind of done, or tweaking a digital thing or a cartoon or a piece of music. And so I think that's a thing. Yeah, that's a talk that I'll be giving, and I will also very briefly talk about like how make a game and just encouraging people and doing like a quick 101. But I don't think it'll be for Alex, I don't think it'll be anything that you would learn. At the place I will be games I will be focusing on. I will have my old stuff, Kitty Cataclysm, Yogi. I'm not sure I will actually be demoing it because it's nice, but given the pandemic, you know, it might not be suitable to demo. With the L deck, I'm thinking Wibble and Categorical are the two things that feel, you know, okay, and you can sort of, yeah, play it, and it's good at bringing in people, and also a game about wee whimsical creatures, and a game about quickly grabbing turnips and trying to quickly grabbing creatures that are totally different and watching out for turnips. I'm mashing up my names now. Pardon me. Yeah, I'm focusing on the new stuff, but a couple of old things. That's me. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have much to talk about. Alex says sometimes people test DDOS attacks at smaller sites before going for bigger targets. Apparently, Alex's shop's website had one briefly for no known reason. Mashing up holder names, quickly identifying grabs and complimenting whimsical turnips. Oh, complimenting whimsical turnips. Maybe I should do some turnips in a game about wee whimsical creatures and trying to identify them after some mixed noises, like turnips that have mouths on them or turnips with beaks. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, there's definitely... I would be totally pro doing a bunch of theme packs, like doing 16 creatures all matching one theme approximately. But for now, I'm going to start wrapping up and say over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. Do you want to say something serious? Do you want to say something fun and frivolous? Do you want to share something? If you do, then do. If you don't, then that's up to you. I am going to be generally waiting in this place. I am actually incredibly fatigued. And postage wasn't done yet last week, but it will be done tomorrow. I've got some bank stuff, but I just, yeah. I'm tempted to have a snooze until the person comes in, but I feel like I should stay awake, just in case they claim that they came here and then they don't to fix the internet. But yeah, that's basically my day, just hanging around, possibly having a snooze, as long as I can trust myself to get up. I do get up at small noises. So, oh yeah, Alex is doing some final preparations for the launch of the Puzzle Advent Calendar. Alex has decided to ask people to make a small contribution via Patreon, mostly because it keeps Alex honest about finishing it. That's totally fair. And I hope that it goes very well for you. I have to admit, I do support you doing it very much. I see the thing, and it just feels like with a lot of your puzzles, they are just a wee bit beyond me. But I hope that they find their audience, and I hope that, you know, Alex, I hope you're able to find an audience that will really love your things. Yeah, so today I'll recap and wrap up before I finish up. I decided that Bubblee Pop, yeah, nice game. I will definitely be playing it a few more times with Layla. Hive, it's a quality game. Yeah, what else did I talk about? Yeah, the DDOS attack, that's a thing. Yeah, sometimes won't comfort. I didn't really blather about much. I'm just tired, and I talked about getting my room cleaned and everything yesterday, but having some boxes in the living room. And I need to go back to my old place and sort stuff. But yeah, I'm just exhausted. That's me. And so, yes, if you want to check me out, I'm Stuffed by Bez. I, yeah, will be streaming 10 a.m. UK generally, and then next weekend will be my special 500th episode. I was hoping to do a stream with Sarah this afternoon, but I'm not sure if I have the A, technical ability to do a decent thing, and B, cognitive ability to be creative and fun. I'm not sure. Um, I want to say thank you, everyone. Thank you to everyone who popped in. It was lovely to see you, Jess and Clea and Timmy and Alex. Alex says, sounds like a 10-minute nap is in order. I'm writing a long list of hints for people so that each one should be solvable. Yeah, I like to kind of, okay, here's almost like, here's an early hint. Have you thought about this? And then hint number 2, oh, have you thought about the other thing? Hint number 3, oh, well, here's an even stronger hint. It's like, yeah. That's a nice callback. Yeah. We did talk about me making bubbles, and yes, for now, I'm just going to say bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go to room. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye bye, everyone.